So, Supriya, tell me, थोड़ा सा इसको अलग break करते तेरे लिए. Now, and I want you to relate two parts and connect two parts to it. In your journey of building Josh, we have seen so many people come on this platform, come on these sets and talk about their journeys, and not necessarily that they were all achievers, but a lot of them who were hustlers and strugglers and came from extremely underprivileged backgrounds, but still made something in their lives, right? From your perspective, you also come from a reasonably privileged background. And you've been very honest to acknowledge that on several occasions, but it is not similar to the concept of living in a small town like Kullu, because you of course stayed in a metro.
Yeah.
But when you try and match these two things together, your mindset of growing up while you were growing up versus when you decided to dwell into this business together, where you every day see a lot of underprivileged achievers trying to build in together. How do you marry the two to say that there is no conundrum? What was your mindset of looking at how things were, and what was your mindset of success, and how did it keep shifting and changing? Take us through a mind space of a girl growing up
in Delhi,
in a reasonably privileged environment, and yet having the heart to solve something so grassroots.
I think, it's one thing that Shobhit keeps saying, right? That the privilege that we have is actually our own responsibility. That what do we do from the stepping stone that we've already got? Like, I didn't have to start from zero. I already had a decent upbringing. I had a good school that I went to. I was fortunate enough to, get a lot of exposure at an early age, whether it was academically or whether it was through extra co-curriculars. I have traveled a lot, so I've seen the world. But how do you use everything that you've already built? How do you use the experiences that you've already had to raise your aspirations and not lower them? So I think one of the things that's been very important in my journey is the role that my father has played, right? He was always this person that didn't give you enough because he wanted you to be able to earn it. So, it was never you're going to Delhi University, it doesn't mean you have pocket money. You have to be able to do an internship so that you can, fend for yourself. Otherwise, you take public transportation because you don't have money to pay for petrol and actually drive a car, right? So I think your upbringing and the values that you are born with and the sense of ownership that you have towards, giving back to your family or towards building something which is of value drives how you use privilege. And I think a lot of people don't realize that, which is why this conversation around privilege, not privilege comes up, right? But the other thing is that the right set of exposure is also extremely important. Like, even though I got the right kind of education, I went to Delhi University, I was doing BCom honors, studying to be a chartered accountant, but that's because the exposure that I got was limited to that, if you've done business in school, if you've taken up commerce, then you take the route of either doing a CA or a CFA.
The usual verticals.
Absolutely. You do a desk job. Like, my goal was to make partner at a Big Four. And yesterday, our audit is going on right now, and we had a partner who was doing the audit coming here, and he said, what's the one piece of advice that you have for me and my team? I said, leave your organization. Join a startup, you'll actually build something of value. Yeah, and you learn more. So I think your aspiration also changes with the interactions that you have with who you are surrounded by. Like, one incident that really hit me in college was that this girl who I studied BCom honors with, one day she got a call from home and her parents needed financial support, and she was someone who could make an air hostess immediately because she fit all the criteria, and she left that to become an air hostess. And I felt that at that time, if she had got the right kind of advice, she would be living a very, very different life. I still follow her on social media. She's still an air hostess, and there's nothing wrong with that profession.
Of course.
But I know what her aspirations were. I knew that she had a different path that she wanted to take in life, but didn't get the right advice.
So it's a beautiful point. It brings me to a thought, guys, that circumstances determine a lot of situations.